Teacher, open my eyes that I may see. Today's story of blind Bartimaeus' encounter with Jesus is one to imagine in the mind's eye, allowing it to come to life. It is early morning. A damp chill lingers in the soft breeze. The light breaks on the horizon, and the warmth of the sun begins to awaken the world. Bartimaeus is sitting by the dusty roadside with his only possession, his well-worn old cloak carefully draped around his shoulders and across his legs to catch any coins tossed his way. There is excitement and hope in the air, as there will be many travelers on the road on their way to Jerusalem for the Passover festival. We know Bartimaeus is blind, and his only means of survival is begging for food or money, for charity, for mercy. Sitting patiently in the dust, he is waiting for charitable souls to pass by. Other beggars are lined up along the road, hoping to have their needs met too. And suddenly, he becomes aware of the sound and vibrations of a large, noisy crowd approaching on the road. At a deeper level of perception, he is aware that there is something different about the crowd. There is an excitement within it. Maybe today will be his lucky day. He begins his ritual. He lifts up his hands and begins chanting, "Alms for the poor." And Bartimaeus senses something else, a perception of an aura of peace, compassion, and love. It is magnetic. Could it be? Could this crowd be traveling with the man they call Jesus? And in his blindness, he clearly sees Jesus, the Messiah, the Son of David. And from somewhere deep inside escapes, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And then Jesus' followers, the insiders, the ones who are shielding Jesus, shush him. The people in the crowd say, "Be quiet, shut up, stop being a bother." Something within Bartimaeus drives him to shout even louder until he is screaming at the top of his lungs, demanding, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Jesus hears him, hears the anguish in Bartimaeus' cry, and stands still. "Call him here." The crowd shifts, their hearts turn. Their eyes see the one who was unseen, and they begin to encourage Bartimaeus. "Take heart, get up, he is calling you." What happens next is incredible. Bartimaeus throws off his cloak, springs up from sitting, and with the coins that he had collected, they go flying, and he makes his way to Jesus. A bold movement for someone who is blind. Even in the best of circumstances, to do so would be difficult. But he is driven to a boldness of speech and action by faith, by clarity of his deep need. He casts off his cloak, casts off his way of life, and leaps forward to the possibility of new life. And Jesus does an amazing thing. He asks Bartimaeus to name his deepest desire. He doesn't presume. He asks. He is direct. "What do you want me to do for you?" And Bartimaeus knows exactly what he wants. And for the first time in a long time, he expresses his heart's desire, his soul's desire. "My teacher, let me see again." "Go, your faith has made you well." he is restored to sight, to wholeness, and to community. The possibilities of new life open to him as Bartimaeus' sight immediately returns and he chooses to follow Jesus on the way. When was the last time you came to God and begged God to do something for you that you desperately needed? When you had clarity about what would restore wholeness to your life? If Jesus came to you and directly asked, "What do you want me to do for you?" are you clear what your greatest, most desperate need is? Or do you struggle in confusion, not able to be clear about your deepest need? Perhaps skimming on the surface of emotion, or even on the surface of your life, not dropping down to that deeper place of what is needed in here, what is most needed. Perhaps the place to begin is asking God for clarity, that you ask rightly. Ask God to reveal your greatest need. Often our own blindness inhibits understanding what our souls need. And we ask God, our families, and others for the wrong things, the things that cloud vision and sight. Remember last week's story where James and John responded to Jesus asking them, "What do you want me to do for you?" They expressed the desire to sit at Jesus' right and left hand in glory. And Bartimaeus calls to Jesus out of desperation with a clarity few people possess. Bartimaeus has absolute faith that Jesus could help him. "Open my eyes, Lord. Open my eyes, Lord, that I may see." Often when we see people on the fringes, we think of them as other, and in doing so fail to recognize the unity of all humanity. It is a blindness. Who comes to mind for you when I say the other? The nomads of our time? Those without homes? Those with different belief systems? Who identify within a different political party? People with different abilities, different styles, different ages. How we treat our brothers and sisters on the fringe speaks of our spiritual sight or blindness. Do we invite them into our lives, our community, our parish? Are they welcomed in our schools, businesses, in our hearts? So often in our blindness, we may not see other people. We don't engage them. We don't hear their stories. And if we do see them, often we make a quick assessment and limit them to labels or abilities, objectifying them and robbing them of their status as a human being, perhaps determining they are not worthy of our time or effort. What we learn in Bartimaeus' response to Jesus, "Teacher, let me see again," is that at one time he did see. And we may ask, was his blindness a result of some infection or illness, or was it brought on or by being bound up within his own mind or emotions, where he could not see clearly at all? The other week, Bruce Spangler from the Volunteer Ministry Center spoke at Good Shepherd in the World, and he invited us to share where we are seeing the homeless, where are we noticing them in our community. And several people spoke up to name the places where they were seeing or encountering those without homes in our area. And I wonder if the group's awareness was increased through our conversation with Bruce. Did others begin to notice more people pushing carts or walking with their backpacks as I did? We've focused on story this year, and each person is a story waiting to be heard. And in inviting another story, we invite them into the fullness of being human. We invite relationship. We invite community. Are you able to place the vulnerable at the center of your life? Where might your blind spots be? What is your spiritual blindness? Or where are you spiritually impoverished? Directly ask God. Persistently ask God to reveal your greatest need. And trust, have faith, and believe in God. And that God will meet your need. It's much easier to remain spiritually blind, to remain on the fringes of faith. Jesus is waiting. Just ask. Teacher, open my eyes that I may see again.